Ladies Arnizzare.
Hello, Simon Rainier out of Links Armitage in Kamloops, British Columbia. I'm outside today. It is a gorgeous fall day, and I thought I would do a little bit of a follow-up to this sword specifically. In my very first video I did kind of an introduction to beginner longswords, training longswords. And this one featured, and it was still pretty new. And this was over a year ago now, and so I thought I'd give an update to how it has held up and sort of how my opinions of it have evolved as time goes by. Currently, you can buy the Purpleheart Armory Technique Feather from woodenswords.com, and it'll run you about $200 US, give or take. I haven't looked at the exact price. Maybe I should, or you can go look it up. There'll be a link below. For sort of an entry-level sword, that is a really good price. Anything less than that, and you start getting into some pretty sketchy territory. So 200 is a good sort of baseline. And for what it is, it has held up ridiculously well. You may be able to see a slight sort of bowing of the crossguard. I think it looks kind of cool, but I'm not worried about it breaking. You want it to bend a little rather than snap. The blade itself, I've done very, very little maintenance to it. I will occasionally give it a sanding or file the edges down slightly, but again, it has held up extremely, extremely well. No more than a couple minutes of work every sort of couple of months almost, and it's pretty pristine, honestly. The grip, still in one piece. You can see it's gotten a couple of like scuffs on it where I've taken some hits on the crossguard. The one thing I will say is the pommel there's a very little bit of a rattle to it. Mostly, I think, due to the compression of the wood core as you know things get hit on it. What I will say is this one is mine, and it rattles. One of my students who bought one at the same time and has used it pretty much exactly the same as I've used this one, theirs does not rattle. So maybe I just got kind of the lemon, or maybe they just got kind of the good one. Either way, a little bit of a rattle, not too much of an issue. I could theoretically fix it by putting stuff in between the pommel and guard, or pommel and bottom of the handle there, and sort of tighten it back up if I wanted to. I'm not super concerned about it. As I'm fighting and using it, I don't really notice. It's only if I pick it up and shake it that it really makes any kind of difference. The crossguard, being of a softer material, is a little chewed up. Again, a couple minutes with a file fixes that right out. And yeah, blade's good. The nice rolled tip is held up perfectly fine. If that ever gets kind of smacked to the ground, you may need to clean it out, but other than that, it's good. On the website, they say it's mostly used for like drills and stuff. I will say we've used this fully sparring, and I've never had any kind of safety concerns with it as long as you're using control. It specifically mentions on the site that it's not designed for tournament use. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I think mostly they're just trying to cover themselves because the edges are very, very slightly thinner. They're, I think, 3 millimeters as opposed to the standard feather, which is 4 millimeters. Again, I've been hit with feathers, I've been hit with these, and I honestly can't tell much of a difference in terms of big truck going by. In terms of what they are and how hard they hit, I feel they are comparable. I'm not too worried about getting hit with one of these as long as I'm wearing proper gear and my partner is using proper control, and that's really the fundamental part of it as well. Pros, cons. Pros, good sword, good price. The only real disadvantages is, I think I may have mentioned this before, it does feel very slightly dead in the hand to me. I pick it up and it doesn't quite move the way I want it to. It doesn't quite feel the way I want it to in the hand, but for that you need a $600 or $800 sword rather than a $200 sword. And I've had many people pick it up and comment about how well balanced it is, so it could be just my preference is slightly different. Yeah, but it does move the way you want a sword to move. It handles quite nicely for the price. And honestly, there's not a lot of bad things. I'm really stretching to say anything negative about it. If you're looking at your first steel sword, absolutely one of these. They're good for drills. I found them perfectly good for sparring. Yeah, I like them a lot. So, go buy one.